Hello again, and I hope you're enjoying this series we're doing on interpreting some quilt patterns and converting them to scrapbook layout pages. We'll head into the craft room straight away, and we're going to have a look at the Dragonfly pattern. So here's our Dragonfly sketch. I printed it out on my computer. I need to do a head alignment, a little blurry, but it will work for my sketch sheet. So as a quilter, you're going to need a lot of squares to make this pattern patch. As a scrapbooker, already you know that the later color here, that's the background, you can ignore all that. So we're going to save some paper and a lot of calculation time that way. Also, as a scrapbooker, if I look at this layout and I say if I put it on my 12 by 12 page, it's going to take up a lot of space. So let's say as a scrapbooker, I add let's say these are 4 inches. So let's do a make-believe 4-inch panel here and a 4-inch panel here, 4 by 12 and a 4 by 8 of more background. These squares would now be 3 by 3. So looking at that, let's see what we need to make our pattern. We have 3 different shades on here. We've got the upper wing, the lower wing, and the body. So for the upper wing, we said these squares are 3 inches. So I'm going to need one 3 by 3 inch square, and I am going to take that square and cut it diagonally in half. And then I'm going to need, for the lower wing, if I look at my pattern here, this lines up with this line here. So I'm going to need a rectangle that's 3 inches by half the width, 1.5 inches. So I'm going to need a 3 by 1.5 inch rectangle. And I'm going to take that rectangle and I'm going to cut it in half diagonally to give me these 2 pieces. For the body, I'm going to need 2 1.5 inch squares, and I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3/4 of an inch squares. So that's your grid pattern for your layout of all you need to do to make this butterfly on a lovely background that you have. So let's go ahead and build one. So I have all my pieces done and adhesive on them, and we're going to go into assembly. One point I want to discuss before I go any further, and it was just to tell you that for my squares, I used the Creative Memories large square punch to do the 1.5 inch pieces. For the smaller 3/4 inch pieces, because I'm a scrapbooker and not a quilter, I chose to use the fancy frame punch and get that little decorative shape instead for my wings. So we'll go ahead and start putting our little guy together. Again, because it's a 3 by 3 grid we're working now, I can block off my 3 inches here down from the top and go 3 inches in, and I'll know exactly where to put my first 2 pieces. But if you don't have those, as soon as you start lining these pieces on your page, they will meet at the right point when you're at the 3 inch mark. So you can just use your repositional tape and just work that way. I'm going to use my ruler just because it's a little faster again. I'm loving my 0 centering ruler. And once this piece is down, you are set up to do the rest of the page. But that's my 3 by 3. We're good to go. So large piece at the top for his head, and then for another fancy little bit, because it's a dragonfly with a nose, I'm actually going to slide this in and give him a little nosy point with my corner rounder. Fancy corner rounder. And then one on this side. And again, you can use your ruler to make sure you're square with your placement there. This guy has got the long edge going along the side of that. So once that one's square, this one will go in easily. And then we'll just add our little tail pieces. You can random them down. You don't have to make sure they're perfectly aligned the whole way down, or you can use your ruler to get that angle and keep running them down your page. And voila. Let's finish off this page. I took my pen and I just drew in some antennae. I added googly eyes to make it fun. And then I used my dragonfly punch, some little extra embellishments on my page. Ready for photos, lots of fun. I hope you enjoy this pattern. Don't miss out on any other videos I post. Don't forget to like the video you're seeing, subscribe to the channel, and ask for notifications to stay tuned for other things as they come up.